So I got the X Pen Artist 13.3 Pro recently, and this is a big upgrade of my previous equipment. I had the Wacom Intuos Pen and Touch that was released like 7 years ago or something like that. It still works, but honestly I think I needed a replacement. This one came with this brush and a drawing glove like this one, and a small cloth to clean the screen. All of these were outside the box, they were attached to the box, so that's why I have them here and the box is still closed. But okay, let's go to open the box now. First I have to remove the protection of this box, the plastic protection of this box, for being able to properly open it. I've seen some reviews before of what it could have, but I wanted to experience it myself. And the first thing we see is this huge screen, which is way bigger than my previous tablet. Like, the screen alone is like bigger than my previous tablet, so you can imagine how big it is. It has a red dial, it has 8 shortcut buttons, and some instructions to remove this screen protector. So moving to the next one, we have under this piece of paper the rest of the items included in this box. First we have like different outlet thingies for the USB cable that I'm gonna show you later. This is the one I'm gonna use because this is the ones we use here. I'm not gonna use the rest one, but there are many different ones you can use. This is the base for the tablet, so you can draw at an angle. It only has one position, but I think it's gonna work for me for now. You can buy a different one online, but it's a bit expensive. I think it's still worth it if this angle is not big enough for you. In this little box we have a small piece of paper telling you where you can download the drivers. It has a few more things. This is the instructions for how to download the drivers. The warranty card, I have to check it out later. A thank you message from XP Pen. Their drawing glove, and a guide about how to connect it to your computer. Another piece of cloth. All of this is inside the box, not like the other ones that were outside the box. And finally, the cables you're going to use to connect everything to your computer. This is a very interesting cable because it's just one USB-C cable that connects to 2 different USB cables and 1 HDMI. This cylinder contains the pen. It's very heavy, but I think it's a good protection for the pen. So it contains the pen, as I said. It has a very nice touch and a couple of buttons. This one doesn't have an eraser like my Intuos tablet one, but I can work with that. And on the other side, a lot of nibs. My previous tablet had like 5 or 4 nibs, but in all this time I only used 2 of them. This one has 8 nibs plus the one included in the pen, so that's a total of 9. Now I wanted to draw something real quick to test it, and first I decided to draw a sketch. This is Lycos, of course. This is how I usually draw Lycos, and I'm using a basic round brush with some pressure settings for opacity and size. This way I could easily see what's the output of this pen. It's supposed to have a lot of sensitivity to pen pressure, so it works really well, honestly. At first I had some troubles with the eraser, but it was just my Photoshop setting, so I fixed it real quick. And I also had to open the control panel for the tablet because before opening Photoshop and before recording this part of the video, I had changed all of the shortcuts to on the shortcut buttons to the left of the tablet to fit my workflow properly. And now that I'm drawing on my nose a lot of details, I can see that the tablet is very precise with these strokes, so it works really well with that. Now the next part I'm going to draw is some shadows, and for this I'm going to use a fill layer with a mask. And this way I can easily see different kinds of pen pressure I usually use for these kind of layers for the shadows. because I use a lot of opacity in darker areas and not so much opacity in lighter areas, and finally adding some colors to only see the pen pressure using the size, and also how keystrokes work when I draw them real quick, like I did in front of my nose a moment ago. It's very precise, as I said. I can easily do this thing. The other tablet was very good, but not being able to actually see what's under my pen sometimes was a bit of an issue, because when I had to draw over another line, I had to find where that spot was on the screen while not looking on the tablet, so it was a bit of a trouble, but it wasn't really a big issue, and with this tablet I could understand that right away. Now, the thing with the pen eraser, it's a bit tricky because I was so used to the pen eraser, and for this one I need to get used to not being able to use it at all. Thankfully it has one of the buttons set by default to switch between brush and eraser. I just have to get used to it. It's not really a big issue. Now, about the screen, it has a very nice finish to the screen. It doesn't reflect almost any light from my room. In this video I only have one light on my left turned on, but even with both lights turned on I couldn't see my reflection in it, and I couldn't see any reflections in it. So it's a very nice screen that is very kind to the eyes. And yeah, that's all for this video. My phone is about to die, and well, thank you so much for this tablet. It's amazing. I couldn't really finish this sketch because I wanted to move on to actual work after recording this, but yeah, it's very nice. There's no friction, there's no like latency, latency is like minimum, and compared to my tools, since this one is much bigger, it's a lot easier to draw. You can see what you have right under your hand. It makes a lot of things a lot easier, especially with very fine details. So if you want to go for one of these screens, it's a very nice one. Go for it. And thank you so much for getting this tablet for me. I really appreciate it.